Hey guys and girls, welcome back to part 2 of core. Go and grab a mat, get yourself into something comfy. See you soon. So last time I showed you the foundations of core. How to get your pelvis in a neutral position, and we started this journey of actually building the core up. Now the core strength we're talking about today are the muscles that run up and down the spine, which are your local muscle system. These are the muscles that we are looking to switch on today, and these are going to be the muscles that, with regards to lower back pain, you're going to find ease. Oh my, there is such a minefield. So using the foundation that we did previously, we're going to continue with some of the exercises on our back, on the floor, and then next time we'll look at those in the 4-point kneeling position. So grab yourself something comfortable to lay on. I've got my comfortable pants and my comfortable top on, and we will start in a laying down position. So we lay down on the floor. We have our knees in this lovely 90 degrees. We've got everything pointing in the right direction. So try not to point the feet inwards. Try not to point the feet outwards. We do want this lovely kind of like train track feel from our hips to our knees to our feet. And do you remember last time we actually looked at how we get our pelvis into a neutral position, and we labelled it number 1. And we're going to do that again. So we're going to find the middle of the two extremes, the middle between the anterior tilt and the posterior tilt. So we're going to tilt the pelvis all the way to the ceiling, so almost like tucking your bottom underneath you. And then we're going to tilt the pelvis kind of like towards the floor, bottom is grounding in towards the floor there. So we're going to do that a couple of times. And then when you feel, you have to put your mind into it. When you feel, you think, ah yes, that's the middle of the two. Hold it. And when we're holding in this position, it won't feel natural because usually we don't walk around with a neutral pelvis. We're going to bring in, we're going to draw in the belly button by about 5 to 10%. So just draw in, we're not going to hold our breath. We're just going to draw in the belly button about 5 to 10%. And this is called abdominal bracing. Remember what we did last time? You almost feel like you've got a corset wrapped around here. Abdominal bracing. And these are going to be our foundation for what we're going to do next. Now we're going to try in this position to lift up. We're going to do this 5 times on the right, 5 times on the left. I'm going to do this with you, so don't panic, just watch along. I'll give you all the instructions that you need. We're going to try and lift up the right leg first of all. Now this will probably be one of the hardest things for you to do, so it's not going to look like this. It's nowhere going to look like that, because what you're going to do is raise that leg without compromising the neutral pelvis and compromising the abdominal hollowing that we have on. To be honest, you'll probably be able to lift that foot up probably about ½ an inch off the floor and then place it back down again. But let's give it a go, shall we? So number 1, we're going to find that neutral pelvis. We're just going to rock the pelvis from side to side, up and down, sorry, just keeping the bottom on the floor. So it's not like a hip thrust. We just place your hands onto the pelvic hip bones here, and we're just going to rock from side to side and find middle ground. Tummy in, draw in that belly button, 5 to 10%, and we've got this lovely secure frame going on here. Now we're going to try and lift up this right leg here without compromising. Now your hips are going to want to shift to allow the lift. We don't want shifting to allow the lifting, people. We want to keep this pelvis in place. Now what that feels like, almost feels like your core has a crane in which it's lifting that leg up by. It's going to be a completely different feel. So let's give it a go, shall we? If you've lost your pelvis, feel free to reset. Pelvis in neutral, abdominal hollowing, check. And return to the floor. Good, that was number 1. We've got 4 more to go. So we're going to reset the pelvis, abdominal hollowing comes in, concentrate, focus on everything, try and lift that right foot off of the floor, and return. Good. 3 more times. We're just going to reset like after every time, just so you can get the feel of what your neutral pelvis feels like. Eventually, you'll be able to do it like that. So we're going to lift again. We're just holding for 2 seconds in the air and then returning. Got a couple more times to go. Reset the pelvis. Abdominal hollowing in. Breathe normally, by the way. Try not to hold your breath. And return. And last one, on the right hand side, you rock that pelvis, middle of the 2 extremes, hup, abdominal hollowing in, and lift 1 more time on the right hand side. And return. Good, well done. Now don't panic if you lay there and you go, my brain won't compute this. It takes a few times to create the pathway between the brain and the leg and exactly what you want it to do. Because, like I say, to lift that right leg up, if you can see, if I lift that right leg up, my left side of my pelvis on my hip has just dipped to the floor, and we're not doing that because the core is completely taken out of the equation. So, should we try the left hand side? Realign ourselves again, get ourselves all comfy. Number 1, we're going to find neutral pelvis. Check. Number 2, just going to draw in that belly button, about 5 to 10%, corset territory. Number 3, we're going to lift up the left leg off the floor, 2 seconds in the air. And return. Good. So as you lift, you almost feel like the sides of your core are doing this. It's almost like that bracing, and they're the muscles that we're switching on here, which is perfect. If it's too easy, we need to go back to the start. So, second time through, find that neutral pelvis. And number 2, abdominal hollowing. Number 3, lift. Good, well done. We've got 3 more of those to go, so we're just holding for a couple of seconds right now. Eventually, when the core strengthens, we're going to be able to lift for about 8 seconds. That's kind of going to be our goal. So in place, number 3, lift. And return. Good. 2 more to go. You should be getting the hang of this now, of how your neutral pelvis feels, how it feels to abdominal brace. Here we go, 4th lift. That's it, well done. Last time through on the left hand side. So really you want to be repeating this probably about 3 to 4 times a week, to be honest. if you have weakness in your core. Fifth lift. And return, relax and release. Oh. So yeah, you want to be doing this about 3 to 4 times a week, and you're going to start seeing huge progress really within the first couple of weeks. You'll be like, oh, I can lift my foot when I couldn't lift my foot before. So to have inner core strength also improves coordination and balance as well. So there's lots of good side effects for good core strength. So our next exercise is we're actually going to send our foot out in front of us now and back. If you've got laminate flooring, like, this is going to be a dream for you, because you can just pop your foot on a sock and slide the sock out. So on carpet it's a little bit different. So let me demonstrate for you first of all. We're going to find that neutral pelvis first. Abdominal hollowing second. And we're just going to heel slide. And return. So you can see the level of concentration on my face, right? I'm putting my mind into the muscle. What is my core doing? Where's my pelvis going? Is it staying neutral? So I'm not thinking about my to-do list at the same time. I'm putting myself in this moment. So let's do that. We're going to do that 5 times on the right, 5 times on the left. So you know it now. Checkpoint number 1. Number 2, and we'll heel slide. Don't compromise the position that you have. And return. Good, that's number 1. And here we go again. Abdominal hollowing, hold it. Good. So you do feel in the core, you think, oh my gosh, it doesn't look like I'm doing much, but this feels like really hard work. Inner core stuff is hard work. It's hardcore. Ha. See what I did there? Number 3. That's good. Well done. We've got 2 more to go. Hold on in there. Get that neutral pelvis. Hold on the abdominals. Good. 1 more. You're doing really well. And don't get frustrated either. If you find yourself thinking, can't do this right now, just stick to the basics of what we did on the first one, and repeat that, and then come back to this one when you think, oh yeah, I'm ready to level up a little bit. That's not a problem at all. So last one on the right hand side. There we go, well done. So that's right hand side. We're now going to swap to the left hand side on this heel slide exercise, getting our pelvis into neutral. So you should now feel exactly what that feels like. In comes the abs. Number 1. Now you may find that you've got one side better than the other. I wouldn't like to go into why that particularly is. It's probably all different for all different types of people. It could be balance, coordination. It just could be you've got one side stronger than the other, one side overdeveloped. You know, very rarely are we symmetrical in our bodies. So when you find your weak side, don't panic, but just work on strengthening it. So we're going to come into number 2. Heel slide. That's good. Number 3. Smashing it today. Hardcore. 2 more to go. So, when I used to train people in the gym to do this, they actually used to get really embarrassed because it doesn't look like we're doing a lot on the floor, does it? You know, when you've got loads of people sweating and swearing about deadlifting. But I said, actually, if you try and get one of them to do this, they couldn't do it. Inner strength, my friend, inner strength. Ab bracing, heel slide. Good, well done. So that is a right hand lift, left hand lift on the legs, right hand heel slide, left hand heel slide. We're now going to go into what we started in the foundation round, which is our glute bridges. And we're now going to do 10 glute bridges. And do you remember last time, number 3 is we put this pretend coin in the crease just here on the side. And that switched the glutes on. So you've got the core and the glutes all switched on as we raise the pelvis to the ceiling. So let's go for number 1 on our checklist. Number 1, neutral pelvis. Number 2, abdominal hollowing. Number 3, coin goes just in the bottom crease of the bottom cheek. Squeeze it, don't let that coin go. In this position here, we're going to raise to the ceiling without letting the pelvis go either, or the ab bracing, or the coin. Hold for 2 seconds and then slowly return to the floor. So you'll know if you're in neutral pelvis because, like, when I say release or relax, like, you go back to the way it was. So you can always tell. So let's do another 9 of those, shall we? So checklist number 1, number 2, number 3, squeeze and lift. Nice and gently. And return. Now try not to hold your breath, try to breathe normally. We've got 8 more to do. Tummy, coin, slowly raise. And return. Good, well done. Let's keep going, shall we? Should know where your neutral pelvis is now. Be like second nature. And lift. That's good. Well done. We've got 6 to go now. 6 to go. Abdominal bracing, coin, lift. Hold for 2 seconds. And return. Good. Woohoo! Almost there, my friends. Almost there. 5 to go. Good, well done. 4 remaining. You should be on a real roll now. Abdominal hollowing. Coin. So you can probably see my glutes turn on when I do coin. You just clench down and raise. And return. So everything has its place. And everything is done mindfully, slowly. This isn't about speed, this is about developing strength. Coin and lift. 3 to go. Almost done. Good. 2 remaining. Oh, it does bring out a sweat in you, doesn't it? It doesn't look like you're doing much. But inner core strength, my friend, is going to see you right. This is our last one. Probably put a little smile on your face. Abdominal hollowing, coin. Hold and release. That's it, release and relax. Come back to where your pelvis normally rests. So the whole point of putting our pelvis into neutral is that actually we get this lovely straight line from the spine downwards, and a lot, so you can relax now, and a lot of issues after birth, a lot of back pain after birth, for example, as well, not just in birth but also if you have problems where your glutes don't switch on when you walk, is largely down to a tilt in the pelvis. It's largely down to posture of the pelvis. And so what we're seeking to do here is to retrain the pelvis to sit as well where it normally should. So this is kind of like a 2-in-1 here. We're attacking the core and we're retraining the posture of the pelvis as well. So keep going on those through the week. Again, about 3 to 4 times a week of what we've done there. And you'll notice an improvement like straight away, especially with lower back pain as well. With regards to any kind of back issue really, core strength is going to be your friend. Now stay tuned on YouTube for my next episode, which is where we're going to be doing core strength but in a 4-point kneeling position. But well done today. It's been really hard work, wiping the sweat from your brow. You have been amazing. So this is Flexi Friday and we are Tojo Fitness.